Good evening, everyone. My name is James Craig Wilson, and it may not be evening where you are. It's 4:20 somewhere. I have no idea what that means. But once again, my name is James Craig Wilson, and I hope that you're having a blessed moment wherever in this universe you might be. I was scribbling down something earlier today and thought I might try to uh, put it down on tape. This is the first go. I wrote it just a moment ago. It's basically something. It covers a couple things. A big shout out to music and my muse. That saved my life. Really, I probably wouldn't be doing this had music not made me think about I'm supposed to be here. Music is amazing. Also, what got me here? Uh, God, of course, and my mom and dad, who had both of them a very fine appreciation for music and gave me that love. It's in my DNA. Anyway, let me go to the topic and read through this. I hope what's going to follow, you can click on a link in this. Uh, Hopefully, I'll get this done right. That uh, Pythagoras broke music. Anyway, this is about harmony and melody and rhythm. I'll get started. What is music? That was an interesting question. I heard that it consists of three main elements. Those elements being rhythm, ba-doom-ba, 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 melody, melody, and harmony, harmony. I just did a commercial, but they're not paying for this, by the way. Music is a very grand design, and as I see it, music is as deep and as wide as all of creation. I'm very fascinated. I'm fascinated by the math and the magic of this magical, mystical art that they call music. What's going to follow here is a link to, I did not do this, but it talks about playing in tune and what that means. This is what I came up with, though. Playing in tune and on time can be rather challenging at times. The catharsis, however, catharsis, our word for the day, the catharsis of experiencing that tension and that release and the resolution, that is very exhilarating. When I was young, I did very much enjoy music of all types. However, I didn't enjoy practicing my piano lessons. Uh, and I most certainly, at that point in my life, I did not enjoy math at all. Math made my brain hurt. And I have to admit, I felt kind of stupid because a lot of the kids in my class, a lot of my classmates, it seemed so easy, so natural to them. So natural and easy, they found it. I did not find it natural or easy. It made no sense at all to me. Fortunately, I was able to work alongside some of those smart kids, and they were kind enough to help me along, tutor, help me find the way. Interestingly, my mom and dad were very proficient at what or some might call practical math, like money. Like dad could make change. He taught me how to make change, or Mom and dad knew what interest rates were. And mom and dad, I'm pretty sure, knew the time value of money, things like that. My mom taught me fractions when I was quite young. I don't know what grade we were in when we started working on that, but mom set me down at the dinner table, the dining room. We had a formal dining room. Mom, and she sat down with a pie, and she says, "If we cut this pie in half, we would say the one pie is divided by two. If you get one of the two pieces, we would say that you have one half of the pie, or 1/2, one of two." I mean, that's so simple, right? At this moment, though, I was just looking at a half of a piece of an apple pie, and she said, "If you," and I was thinking, "Oh, I've never ever gotten a half a pie before, an apple pie, homemade." Well, anyway, so that's so simple. She used an actual pie to do this. And later on, I realized I wasn't going to get half the pie. I later learned that we were going to divide the pie by 4 or 6, which that was a little later when I learned to cut it. We actually use a tool for that. So you cut the pie by 6. There's ways to do that. That was where I learned a lot about math, is an apple pie. And I later learned that to divide 1 by 6 or 7, or sometimes you divide it, but everybody gets an equal slice, or maybe not. Anyway, my mom was and is so smart. And I am not upset that she made me take piano lessons. Why? The story goes, a doctor or someone said, a professional indicated to her and my father that I had poor eye hand coordination. And they thought that something like piano would be a good way to help me develop better eye hand coordination. I actually think I have very good eye hand coordination, like my father did. Anyway, speaking of my father, uh, I found that my father could do just about anything practical. He knew how to measure things, he knew how to build anything. He was very artistic. He was very creative with woodworking and things like that. He knew physics. He could throw a blade and land it into a tree. He could throw a punch. I found this out many years later, that he was a boxer. Fist, he could go, but he was not like that. But he knew physics of the real world. He just knew things. And some people might call that common knowledge. And I soon came to understand that what some might call common knowledge is, in my estimation, quite uncommon. My father also knew people very well. We were surrounded with a lot of good people, good friends. Mom and dad, we always had friends and family. That was very important. My father knew people. My father, I got a lot of quotes from my father, just most simplest things, like when I said I'm scared of, the graveyard or something, and my father would say something to the effect of, "Craig, it's not the dead you need to worry about, it's the living." He had a lot of those sayings, or I don't know if he came up with it or he just heard it. I don't know. I don't know where he got, but he had a lot of that. Uh, I I want to. I think my dad was kind of like Clark Kent. He was a quiet, hardworking, very hardworking man, and quiet in his faith. definitely quiet in his faith, but deep. Still waters run deep. But I had a suspicion that my father sometimes was Superman. I'll never know. I'm pretty sure. I feel it. I was truly blessed to have my mom and my dad, two such wonderful parents, and I hope I do them proud. Oh. But I digress. I get off on tangents sometimes. Math, magic, and music and playing in tune. That's kind of what I started on this little short journey. Short journey. Well, playing in tune and playing on time, playing with others nicely in the sandbox, that can be rather challenging at times. I know I've done most of my adult life as a performing artist and living with in society and with family and all that. It's and dancing is an interesting thing that sometimes it's challenging to play in tune and on time. And what I found out though, the catharsis of experiencing that tension, that dissonance, all of that as you're trying to put it together and things, but then you get that release. It finally fits, it comes together. And then you have the resolution of those many perhaps fruitless searches and all the wrong turn and all of that that comes together. And at the heart of all that is that math and that magic. There is all of that integral to that if one learns to listen to not their own just their self, but to resonate, to listen to that other voice, that other person. We're not alone here. That sympathetic vibrations and things like that. I find so much power in the music and all of this. Uh, I stumbled across a video here that I'll invite you to listen to. Check it out because I've been studying math and Pythagorean. There's a whole lot of math and music and magic that goes into that. At the bottom of it, from what I understand, is that humankind did not invent math. We discovered it. And it is obvious to me, unless, and maybe I'm delusional, but I don't think so. There are other people way more crazy than me that believe this. But this is how Pythagoras broke music, kind of, and how we fixed it. A big shout out to the people that actually put this together. This is a very good work. And I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And please feel free to make comments. There's a lot of you out there that are way ahead of me on anything like this. So, well, I've had my 15 minutes almost. I don't know if you'd call this fame. My name is James Craig Wilson, and I appreciate you listening. Blessed be.